Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Foundation and the beautiful little town of Nerdsboro. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I'm certainly excited to be back. There has been a lot of feedback on the first 3 episodes of this series. For the most part, everyone seems to be loving it, which is fantastic, because I absolutely adore this game. I've seen a couple of people that are like, it's really obvious that I like this, so I'm glad that people are noticing I'm having fun with this. The other bit of feedback has been in relation to the keep, which is a bit of a point of, it's a point of discussion, because people are like, hey, you know the way you've got the keep down there on the beach? Well, that doesn't really make too much sense. That kind of building would be better suited on a hill. And I'll be honest, I didn't actually think about that at the time of placing it, and I don't really want to replace it right now, but I will say this. We could look into buying this territory and this territory at some point, and then put the keep right up here, so that it will be on a hill, and it will overlook everything, and it will be totally defensible. It just means that we need to get these 2 territories and then, you know, move the entire keep and rebuild it and all that. But I think that might be a better idea than just canceling it right now, because it's nearly finished and I really don't want to have to rebuild it right away. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll build it up here when we get those territories. We'll have some shops and some houses and all that stuff down here, more fishing, more markets, all that kind of stuff. And I think that'll look fantastic. For the time being, while the keep is nearly finished here, I do want to go to my kingdom tab, and I do want to unlock the wooden walls. I'm not going to bother with the stone ones, because the keep is made of wood. I don't think there's much point, but we are going to get the wooden walls, and I'm going to pause. Actually, no, I'm not going to pause. I'll just slow the game down to 2 times speed there, and I want to build some walls around my keep. Now, apparently, there is a way to curve a wall. That's a stone wall. Did I get the stone wall by accident? No. Interesting. Okay. That's very interesting. So apparently you can totally curve this. I'm not entirely sure if that's true, because it says I can... let's see. The kingdom has noticed your keep and might call on you in a military campaign. Yeah, so think about training soldiers. Left click on wall node is select/place new node. Left click on wall section is toggle wall curving. So I'm clicking on it, but it ain't doing nothing. So I mean, I can intersect them, but I definitely can't see. Okay, you know what? Let's just control left click and delete all that. I don't know if we can do curved walls or if that's going to be a thing. So what I'll do, and my idea here, is I want to go like this, and I want to see if I can... I guess I'm going to have to try and like manually curve this by just following the curvature of the road a little bit, but that's okay. We can come down like this, and I want to go pretty much out to about there. So we kind of bring it around. We have it follow the curvature of the road. We're going to leave that a little bit open. And it's going to go down to the water, and that's fine, because this isn't defensible. I don't want to put a wall along the water or anything like that. I think it would look terrible. So I'm just going to leave the water open, and I think that's okay. And then on this side, I want to go from about here and go sort of straight along that road a little bit. And then I want to gradually curve it so it goes out towards the water as well. So we have this really nice area sort of enclosed. We have the entrance at the front, of course, but we have this nice area here, and I want to do something with this. I also realized I paused the game while I was doing that. I want to go in here, and I want to build a market. And I'm thinking that we could probably build a goods stall as well, because I think goods... I think that's... I don't know if that is clothes or not, but if we're going to be getting a sheep farm, then we are going to need the ability to sell clothes to our people. Maybe we'll leave that a little bit, though. Either way, I want to get a food stall in here. So I want to do... I think we're going to do a food stall pretty much with its back to the water. And I want to go all out with this. So I want a green tent on it. I want a food stall sign next to it. I want another food stall sign just by the, like over here. So you can clearly see that there's a food stall in the keep grounds. And I think that'll be fantastic. But we can go a little bit further. We could do some barrels back here. We could do a nice bench over by the wall. We could do a fence if we really wanted to, which I might actually do sort of a little fence here just at the back to make it look like, you know, it's like, hey, maybe don't go too far this way. Otherwise, you're going to wind up in the water. So something a little bit like that. Just to nicely enclose things, give us a little market stall in the keep grounds, and I think that'll look great. So we'll start construction on that, most of which is already done. We just got to do the stall itself. And I'm just wondering what else we could throw in there, because obviously the market's one thing. We could technically throw a church in there if we really wanted to, which might honestly look interesting, but I don't know if I would want to do that because we have a church up on the hill. So maybe we'll not do a church. We could... I suppose we could move the Lord Manor in there, couldn't we? That is an option, and I guess it would make sense to have the Lord's Manor inside the keep grounds. So maybe the Lord Manor can go, let's say that spot, so it's sort of lined up with the wall. We can do a tower at the back. It's going to look a little bit like a church, but that's fine. So tower there. Then the small treasury needs to go on the side, and we need to do that thing where we rotate it and sort of clip it into the building a little bit, which is apparently going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see. So not quite like that. What about this way? Does it do it? That way. And then we want another small treasury to go on that side. And that looks the part to me. Then the door just goes at the front. Not ideal, you know, it's a little weird looking, but I kind of dig it. I think that kind of makes a bit more sense, especially since this one over here isn't actually built yet. So can I select the whole thing and move it? I totally can. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Can I put it back? Is that an option? Can I put it back? Yeah, I totally can. Okay, so, oh, no. Okay. You know what? I think we're just going to redo that very quickly because I just totally messed that up. I think I will actually place it sideways just so the door looks a little bit better. So we can place it there. We can do our tower at the back. We can do the treasuries on either side as we were planning to do. Just need to rotate this one around and probably raise the other one up a little bit. No, they are the same height. That's fine. Then the door can go right about there. And I think that looks a little bit better. The tower obviously needs to be more like that. But I think the Lord's Manor right there will be totally fine. So start construction on that. Go to this one and clear it. So there we go. Lord's Manor right there. Market right there. We can do the keep here. We can do more marketplaces in here a little bit later on. Let me actually just pause the construction of the Lord's Manor. And away they go. They can build all of that whenever they're ready. Now, we can go to the keep here, and we can actually have up to 10 soldiers, and there are actually quests that we can send the soldiers off to do, and I'm very excited about doing that at some point. I say some point because we have 40 people right now, and our limit is essentially 40 unless we build another church. The top attendance is 40 in the church, so we're kind of limited at the moment. Now, I did also see some other comments recently that were like, hey, you might want to build another well. Because apparently my citizens aren't going to be too keen on going all the way up the hill to go to that well. So I figure we'll put one down here by the keep, and I'm also going to put one just up here, because I think that might be kind of nice. So we'll get a couple more wells in there, and that'll hopefully do some good for us. We look like we're going to be having this finished in no time at all. John is bringing over the cloth for the new market, which is going to be selling bread. I don't know if I actually mentioned that the new market's going to be selling bread, but the new market is going to be selling bread, which will be beautiful to have. More money, more happiness, more food, etc., etc. This up here needs some tools, actually. Let me prioritize that. I know we don't have any tools, but I'm pretty sure we can get them through trade. I mean, we are trading for them, right? We 100% are, up to 10 of them. Okay. Oh, the market's done. Oh, look at that. That's actually given us a good amount of splendor. Not enough splendor for any tier 2 stuff here, but a decent amount of splendor. So I'm very happy about that. And we can get someone working there at some point in the near future. I'm also wondering, is there any sign of the trader? Because we really need those tools. We really do. Let me speed things up back to 3 times speed. Yep, still waiting on the tools. I would hope we can afford them. I'd also hope I can spot the trader so I know when he's going to be coming in. But thus far, no sign of him. So I guess it's just a waiting game at the moment, but that's fine. That's all right. We can keep ourselves busy. We could probably go ahead and say... In fact, we could totally go ahead and say, start working on the Lord Manor there. Not that we don't really have enough planks for it, I'll be honest. But we can start working on it. We've actually got people working on the wells too, which is fantastic. What about this one up here? Is it done? It isn't, but it's gonna be very soon, so that's all right. And is there any sign of this trader? You out there, friend? Anywhere at all, please? I'd really like the bakery. Oh, is that you? No. Who are you? Who is this? Maybe that is a trader. Maybe he just doesn't have the... What's he holding? Oh, I know what this is. So this... right. So this is a quest. This will be one of the military quests. This is one of those like, hey, we need your soldiers to go and do a thing for us. That's basically what this will do. And I think the reward for it is like either 500 or 1,000 gold. The problem, as you might be able to guess, I don't have soldiers at the moment. So we might be waiting a little bit on that. Oh, this is actually about to be done as well. Fantastic. Okay, so Willibald, if you wouldn't mind going and finishing that for me, that'd be great. Then we can start making some bread. Come on, there we go. All right. We don't have anyone that can actually work here, though. Can I... So... Oh, wow. We actually need more foragers as well. More stonecutters, too. More farmers as well. Yeah, we need more people. We might actually need to build another church, and I'm actually thinking that in here might have to be the spot for it. It's 2 churches very close to each other, but I'm kind of tempted. Or up here. We do have room up here for it. Well, kind of. What about over here instead? I guess we could do one right on the edge of town. I've also realized my... where is it? What am I looking for? That was off. I like to be able to see these boundaries. I know a few people were mentioning that they kind of would prefer it if I turned those off. I kind of like seeing them because it makes it easier to know where I can build. So that's kind of why they're staying on. Now let's see. Do I want to go for like a super big church here? Because I technically could. Like I could do 2 cores on it. And I'm almost tempted to do that because that's immediately 40 in terms of capacity. And then we could do a tower or 2 towers at the back or something like that. What about 2 sort of the smaller towers and then a slightly larger one? It's a bit strange looking, and the towers don't actually do much in terms of, they don't do anything in terms of capacity, honestly. But I think they look cool. So I think we might do sort of the 3 towers there. Then obviously we'll need a nice door at the front, which I think could be this one. Absolutely. And this immediately gives us a capacity of 40, but what I'm thinking is that we probably want to extend that kind of considerably. Because I'd like this to be sort of the go-to church for... go to church. For as long as it can be. That was terrible. I'm sorry for that joke. Feel free to send your complaints to feedback@conflictnerd.com. That's not a real web email address, by the way, just in case. But then this right here gives us a capacity of 70, which is kind of nuts. So this, I mean, we could go further with it as well. We could throw some extra bits on here to the towers and all that. So a capacity of 75, that's That's a lot. I think this'll do. I think that's kind of cool looking. I actually kind of like that. It's going to take so many things to build it, but I think that's pretty cool looking. So start construction on that. It's going to take a long time. We don't actually have the means to do it. An envoy from the Image One is requesting an audience. Yes. Okay. War is coming. We are prepared and well. Actually, we're not that prepared and would be happy to have some helping hands. Ideally with swords or axes. How about sending some of your troops to our aid? So here we can see send 5 soldiers to city name. And we can get 1,000 gold, 20 of whatever that is, and plus 10, what do you call it, for the kingdom, and a free territory. Unfortunately, no. We don't have soldiers. We kind of need to build the church first. So the church is kind of going to be the priority, I think. We actually, honestly, might see the Lord Manor done at some point kind of soon as well, which would be good for Splendor. The maintenance cost is definitely up there a little bit, but it'll be good for Splendor. Anyway, I think what we might want to do is go to this Stonecutter's hut. No, not the Stonecutter, not the Stonemason. Go to the Stonecutter and take Steven off of that job, and maybe go ahead and take Martin off that job as well, because then we can put them both in the bakery, have them both making bread, and then what we can do is maybe go steal someone from another job, such as, oh, what job could we steal someone from here? I think one of the transporters. So Anna is no longer a transporter, and instead can sell bread down here. Now, obviously, that's going to be a bit of a slow job, considering we don't have any bread right now. But I think that'll be pretty good. I think that'll work out nicely. Also, do I have more decorations in here? I do. We still have these fences, which is... Oh, those were a different type of fence. Oh, that's interesting. We don't have the tools to make it. We have road signs as well. We have decorative trees, which... Actually, you know what? 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. And I guess 4. We can do some trees there. We have plant arches, which is interesting looking. We could technically do a plant arch right there, leading into the marketplace at the back. It's going to be 100 gold up front, but you know what? You know what? Let's do it. 100 gold up front, and let's see, 100 gold up front. There we go. So some nice plant arches there. And if we really wanted to, we could do a fence back here to block that off completely. But I think that's quite nice. We have our market. We have the Lord Manor coming together. We have more planks coming down. I mean, progress is happening. That's kind of what I'm wanting here. So very happy about that. I think we'll go ahead and pause the construction on the church, because 230 planks is going to take a long time, especially since the Lord Manor seems to be taking most of the planks. And then up here, are you actually... What are you guys doing? Is that how you make bread? You just kind of beat it into submission? Is that how bread works? Like, I know you kind of like, you sort of like knead the dough and all that, but do you physically fight it? I've never personally made bread before. I'd love to. That actually, I would love to make my own bread. I've had fresh bread before. My one of my uncles, when I was like, oh, I would have been like 8 or 9. What is this? Who are we helping with what? Berries to... Ooh, what do we get? You know what? Go for clergy. Let's go for clergy. So one of my uncles, when I was like 8 or 9, bought a bread maker. And I remember like he made this... we would go up every Sunday. We go up and visit family. This is in like my family's hometown. It's not my hometown. I wasn't born there. I never lived there. But my entire family comes from a town called Carrickfergus in Northern Ireland, which has this beautiful castle in it. It's on the coast. It's a really... I was gonna say it's a really nice town. It's not. The location is really nice on the coast with the castle. You can go up around the castle. At some point... You know what? At some point this year, I'll do a video where I go up there and go around the castle with camera and we'll vlog it, whatever. The point is, we go up every Sunday to visit family, and one of them had a bread maker. And I got really excited going up every Sunday because I was really hoping he would have fresh bread made because it's delicious. And I'm one of these people, you know the way when you bake something, a lot of recipes are like, be sure to let it cool before you eat it. Nah, that ain't me. All right. And I'm curious. Just if you're one of those people that, like me, ignores the instruction to let it cool before you eat it, let me know in the comments. Because it's the same with like when my gran makes like an apple pie. It's like, oh, let it cool before you eat it. No, you eat it as soon as it's out of the oven. That's when it's at its best. Not when it's going to injure me, but like when it's still warm out of the oven. Like there's nothing better. It's not the same if you take it out and heat it up or something. It's just not. You take it out of the oven, you let it cool for like 2 minutes, and then you destroy it. That's how it works. There's no point letting it cool. It's not as good. It's just, I have a lot of feelings about food, okay? I have a lot of feelings about food and how it should be consumed as much as possible. Okay, my stomach didn't grow itself. Well, it sort of did, but that's beside the point. In other news, these trees are starting to look fantastic here. I actually think I want another one. Let's see here. So decorative tree. I think another one like there could be quite nice. And then maybe just like one there and one there as well. So this place, I think it's going to look great. I really do. Could we maybe do that fence as well? We don't actually have planks for it. Of course we don't. Well, I want to do a fence right there. Because I think that looks pretty good. It kind of nicely encloses the keep that little bit more. And also we are apparently making some serious cash off of the bread here, so that's great. That should keep everyone happy though, shouldn't it? So we're at 88 happiness. It could be higher, but we're making bread. We're getting fish. We've got berries. I guess the next step is probably going to be a sheep farm. Which I'll be totally honest, I don't know if I'm looking forward to, because the last time I built a sheep farm, Weaver's Hut, and then Taylor's Workshop is, well, that's the last time my town fell apart. So I basically, it was on a live stream. I was playing this and it was like, hey, let's build the sheep farm and the Weavers thing and blah, 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 blah. I did all that and it completely fell apart because there was suddenly a massive demand for clothes, funnily enough. So hopefully that doesn't happen this time. I think what I will do though is put the sheep farm just there. So sort of on the road leading towards this place. Because I'm realizing we could go in and maybe take out that part of the wheat farm there. And then we could do some housing, or we could do some gathering space up here, maybe some reforestation. In fact, you know what? Reforestation up here could look really good. So let me just go in and say I want to reforest everything sort of around the farm. Because I do think that would look really nice having some trees up here on this hill. So something a bit like that. Let me just sort of go in a little bit more and sort of round that corner slightly. And then just take out a little bit of the farm field so it matches. Maybe bring it back up a little bit so it matches better. There we go. So a bit of reforestation up here will be fantastic. Obviously, we'll need a forester's hut for it. But the thing is, this church down here is going to give us, you know, an extra 70 in terms of villager capacity, so I'm not that worried. You know, I think 110 villagers at some point sounds fantastic. We just got to make sure that they can, you know, actually be happy and preferably not starve. That's kind of the goal. That is definitely kind of the goal. How's this going? This is actually very nearly done. And I'm loving that fact. I love the fact that this is nearly done. Where are my sawmills? So this is one, isn't it? That's a carpenter's hut. Do we have another one? That's a forester's camp. Do we only have the one carpenter? I think we do, actually. We might actually want to get another one of those. That might have to be something we build as well. So maybe maybe I try and squeeze another little carpenter hut in here. And I know that I don't have the means to actually, you know, put people to work in this building just yet. But I think just another little carpenter hut back there, or whatever, a sawmill is what it's called, but carpenter hut is kind of the same. It's kind of the same thing, really. Either way, I think another one and another 3 carpenters will be fantastic. I really think that'll be fantastic. So 5 more planks and the Lord Manor is done. I wonder if I can employ anyone at it. That would be kind of cool. I mean, I don't think, you know, obviously I'm the Lord, you know, the Emperor, King, literal God amongst men of Nerdsborough, but it'd be kind of cool. I guess it would probably just be like soldiers or something. But either way, oh, the final materials are on the way. Fantastic. I'm excited about this. I'm actually really excited about this. I can't remember if I've ever actually built one of these. So, you know, seeing it completed, I mean, it looks pretty, oh yeah, look at this. 4 soldiers. We're up to like 15 splendor here. So 5 more splendor and, well, a few more people, and I can start unlocking this stuff. That's kind of cool. That's pretty cool. Our capacity for money is also up to 900. So, no complaints here. Absolutely no complaints here. Next thing's going to be to get this built, and then I suppose get this built as well. And then I guess once that's built, it's just a case of getting this church built. Oh, wow. That church is going to be a nightmare. It really is. That church is going to be an absolute nightmare. Because what was it? I want to look at the materials again. 105 stone, 230 planks, and 69 tools. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go to trade resources, and we're going to say buy them up until we're at 70. We may very well bankrupt ourselves in doing that, but it means that at least the tools are out of the way, the stone will nearly be out of the way, and then all we're waiting on is just the planks, which is totally doable. So we'll buy tools until we have 70 and hope for the best, I suppose. Oh, that's going to be... It's going to be a waiting game. It really is. I might actually have to start bringing... You know what? Let's open up immigration and let's see what ends up happening. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's going to be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. It's been my pleasure as always. If you liked the video, like the video. If you disliked it, then dislike it and leave a comment telling me why. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.